Welcome to Home 411, where you have asked and we have answered. Renovating to decorating, permits and planning, to even experts in insurance, mortgages, and real estate. We really do cover everything home. Be sure to go to our website, velvetandpine.com, for a ton more information. But in the meantime, let's start the show. Welcome to Home 411, where you ask and we answer everything home. Today we're just chatting amongst ourselves. Have Heather Randall here, our lead interior decorator, designer, team lead here. And we get questions on our Facebook and our website, velvetandpine.com. Join the club, it's free, and then people send in questions to get help. Design and decoration help, not,
Yeah.
the other kind of help. We need that. We definitely need that.
Yeah.
So we're just going to read some questions I think that you'll like, and we're going to go through the answers, and we're all going to learn a lot.
Yeah.
Including me.
Yeah.
Okay, what's our first
we
question?
keep learning.
Yeah.
All right. So I got this in from somebody who asked, what has been your most challenging project to date and why? And I think we both know the answer to that.
Yes. Okay. All right.
So,
Okay.
what was it?
It was a big, huge, was it 5,000 square,
almost
6,000
6,000. Plus,
square
if you
foot?
include the outside area
Yeah,
we did, and the
it was a
pool, and the
lot.
pool house, and
It
the
was the complete gut.
yeah.
And not only was it a complete gut, but it was a Florida 1980s home. And he wanted like
Maryland
Virginia
traditional,
traditional, complete opposite.
yeah.
So we literally gutted the entire house.
Yes.
And the great thing was really is he said, I want to move in with my toothbrush. So,
Yes.
and that's it.
So literally that means everything. If you think of everything you need for a home.
Yeah.
Pots, pans,
Yeah. Towels,
linens.
Yeah.
I mean, every appliances, blenders, coffee machine, like everything. He said, I want to show up my suitcase, my toothbrush. And so we're like, all right.
We can do it.
But there was not one room in this project that was not untouched. There was her specialty, knocking down walls and
breaking things,
demo, and all the permits and all the planning and stuff for that. So yes, I think we would both agree that was probably our most challenging project because we had to take this.
Well, together, yeah.
Yeah,
definitely.
together. Yeah.
Yeah, because you
We
had
had
some
yeah.
separate, and I've
Right.
definitely had some.
So, yeah, and the reason why, because they asked why, is, and we hit on a few, is just, and just taking, the architecture, for instance, the windows. Every window in that house had that Florida 80s arch, like sunburst arch at the top. And I'm like, okay, what do we do with that to make it traditional?
Right. And for those who have those, what do you do?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, some people like it and they keep it and they go with the Florida thing, and that's great. Well, with him, he did not, he didn't want any Florida, nothing. So,
reach on that.
Yeah.
But tell them how you raise the curtains above.
So what I did is some of the curtains were custom made. I tried to keep the budget down by getting some stock drapery, but I made I had them make cornice boards, which some people are like, "What's a cornice board?" Which I get that. And it's literally a board. It can be in different shapes. I had this one that's kind of squared off, had a little bit of arch in it, just to give it some interest. And you put that at the top of the window where the arch is, and it covers it. So it squares it off. You wouldn't even know the arch is under there anymore. And then you hang the drapes underneath that. So it hides all the hardware for the drapery. In this particular project, every room had the remote control roller shades. So we had a lot of equipment that we had to hide. So this kind of was like our answer to everything. Squared off the windows. We hung it high again. I'm always saying that window treatments, hang them high, people.
And wide.
Because, high and wide. Just makes the window look grand. So, that was one of the challenges, and it
Well,
worked
the
out
other one
well.
was, and this people understand this is he was older,
Mhm.
and a lot of people buy in their retirement home or want to renovate their home. So we had to think, when he was a lot older, and obviously ADA requirements come into play, but also just will he have a wheelchair or
Mhm.
will he have one of those electronic
Yeah. I
scooter
mean,
things.
widening the hallways.
Widening the hallways, yeah.
Yeah. And the bathroom doors you gotta think of.
That's
Like, can you
right.
get a wheelchair in there?
Or even a U-turn, because I know you came into his bathroom and then the water closet was sort of,
Yeah.
you had to swing around and kind of go
Yeah.
back and then thinking
So
through that. But
mhm.
um
Carpet. Like, there was a ton of carpet in the house.
yeah, rip all that
I'm
out.
like, "That's gotta go." If you're thinking
Trip hazards, you got to
yeah, if
think
you're
about
dealing
that.
with an elderly, population, you gotta think about these things, carpet,
Mhm.
even area rugs, you wanna make sure that we got the double-sided carpet tape on everything and stuck those bad boys down really good, so, yeah, challenges in that way of just, like, how are they gonna live in this house in the future? Um, in the bathroom alone with all the bathroom looked like there was like a
Turret, like a
turret, like,
castle.
as, like
Yeah, it was. I
I don't
can't
know
even
how to get in
explain
the
it.
show. It was like
You had to go
you had to,
around the
like
curve and
yeah, it was
get.
like this
Yeah, it was
curvy
weird.
'80s thing,
Yeah,
and you, like, were walking into this dungeon
right.
to take a
It
shower, and
was
I'm
the
like
'80s.
I was like, "What is this thing?" We called it the
Mhm.
turret. It looked like a castle turret, but knocking that all out, widening everything, opening everything up,
Right. Well, you
easy
even had to think
access.
about the shower door too.
Mhm.
We special ordered the shower door, the glass wider so he could and think through, is he going to push the door in? Okay, if he's in a wheelchair, he pushes it in, then he can't close the door. So how does he pull it out to get in, and then how does he close the door? So all of this, was thought through, and this is what we do. But really thinking
Yes,
about it, and that's not thinking to it, it's thinking through it, and
through it.
that's what we talk all day, every day with everybody that we talk to
And you
on that one.
think through before you start ordering
Oh my gosh,
anything,
yeah.
because that was like, I mean, the spreadsheets we had with this project, just because, every room, and it was a larger home. So it's like you had the formal dining room, and then you had the formal living room, and then you had the family room.
Oh, and
And
every wall was at an angle.
yeah, oh
Every
yeah.
wall
The
and
architect
every
went crazy
room.
on that house. Yeah,
Yeah, they get bored, so they
yeah,
start making weird
just no
angles.
right angles
Yeah.
anywhere.
Mm.
But everything was open, so you got to make sure everything flowed, but like we've said before, everything doesn't have to be exactly the same, room to room. So like I said, there was a formal living room, so that had no TV in it. It had two, the couches facing each other. The
Mhm.
chairs, it was like a conversation pit.
Mhm.
It was all
Mhm.
made for, having people over and talking and having a cocktail. There was
Right.
a bar cart there, but we also had the family room, and that had the big sectional and the
Mhm.
big 65-inch
Mhm.
TV and the karaoke machine and
Oh my
like
god, it did,
all
right?
that stuff. And even though
Yeah, it's fun.
I kept with the traditional theme, it
Mhm.
was a more casual
Yeah,
version of it. So
that's true.
I mean, oh gosh,
Mhm.
so much. She even added on a powder room, remember?
Oh, yeah,
You had to
that's
take
right. After it
space.
was done,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, they wanted to
You
add
wanna tell
us.
about that, how they
Well,
wanted
they just
another powder
right.
room.
I had to steal space
Mhm.
from a closet, which I've done many times, yeah,
Yeah.
to create a sixth bathroom,
Yeah, yes, yes,
bathroom,
it's true.
water closet, whatever.
Mhm.
Yeah. Well, that was a big one that we did, together.
Yeah.
And then for me, I mean, like every project's big for me, but because most of my jobs these are historic homes,
Mhm.
so they're hard to sell. Uh, no one wants them; they need a lot of work. And I just come in and restore them, renovate them, and then sell them and
Yes,
move, sell them and move, and go on to the next
she
one.
does.
Um, but I think that because with Velvet and Pine .com, we really do everything from renovation to decoration. And that's
Mhm.
where sort of when we get these questions and we're happy to answer them, and we answer them on calls because we do virtual consulting. So people can call and do a 30-minute, 60-minute call and just say, "Hey, how do I pick out the right wallpaper?" Or I get this a lot. Here's the good one I got this week is How do I put wallpaper on textured walls?
Oh.
Because that's a thing in Florida.
So, yeah,
I
that's a
mean,
big
I
thing in
guess it's
Florida.
a lot of people. Yeah, but up north we have flat
Yeah.
walls.
So
So I get
what'd you
that.
say?
I said, well, I said move. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, she would.
I said you can sand down the walls, or you get a wallpaper that has a texture in it.
Mhm.
Like, well, I don't know wallpaper, what the grass,
Oh,
but
the seagrass.
yeah, whatever that is. Yeah. So a textured or like a damask, or
Yeah.
because then that,
Or wallpapers come in different thicknesses too,
right,
like,
right. That's
but
what
they're
I
more
mean.
expensive, yeah.
Yeah. Well,
And they you can also get it's like a wallpaper for your wallpaper.
right.
It's a
Yes. That's
backing.
what I, yep.
Yeah, so,
Where do you get that?
I mean, I've never used it. I'm like, "Just
Okay.
sand it down."
Well, that was
But
helpful.
I'm sure you can get
Google it.
it
Google it.
at a wallpaper store
Store. That's true. Yeah, yeah.
or
I did get that
online.
one.
I'm
Yeah,
100% sure.
yeah.
Yeah.
I was trying to think of the other. I mean, we have so many. Would you have another one that you got on the website there?
Think here. Yeah, let's see. So,
Oh, I'm sorry.
go
Real
for
quick.
it.
Yeah. No, because people. I don't even know how to say this. Permitting,
Mm.
planning, permitting. A lot of times you think you're zoned for something, and you actually have a second zoning. So, for example. Okay, so if you have a 10-foot setback on your house and you want to, let's say you either want to build a garage or a gazebo or a carport or a pergola. Okay, those four things, even though you have a 10-foot setback on your home, those four things actually have four different setbacks. For example, in every city and county is different. You just have to check
Of
into it.
course.
But if your setback is 10 feet, let's say the pergola, you could actually put it within 3 feet of the setback. A carport is 5 feet from the setback. Just talking about one particular city. Um, but your garage is actually 20. You have to be inside your own setback because of the fuel, cars exploding,
Hmm.
gases, things like that. Yeah. Again,
Okay.
as I know. So that's where you think, oh, my setback is 10 feet. But you really need to look into it. Talk to your zoning, talk to your local council, your municipality.
Talk to Linda because she's
I
done
do
this
this
a
a lot.
trillion
Yes,
times.
exactly. Um, I could say that sometimes I will say, this is a gazebo.
Yeah.
When it's maybe
Not a
because
gazebo.
yeah, but nobody's listening to that. Okay, anyway, that's huge. That I get that a lot, like permitting. How do I get a permit? How do I pull a
Yeah.
permit? Can I pull a permit on my own? And yes, you can pull a permit
Yeah.
as a homeowner. You don't have to. You can either hire a general contractor to do it, or you can pull it yourself.
I've asked Linda these questions myself. Hey, I have this side yard and I have this slab. I want to put a tiny home on it.
Yeah, and I said,
How
no, you
can
can't. Your city will not let you.
but I want to.
I know, but your city won't let you.
So
You should
she
move.
knows. I'm like, I don't, that kind of
Yeah,
stuff. I'm
that's
just,
what I do.
shut down.
Yeah,
But
rezoning and zoning and all that, yep.
that kind of comes into this other question we got, and it's dealing with something different. It's dealing with commercial properties
Oh, boy.
because I've done a few of
You
those. I'm
have.
sure you've done a few of those too. So it says, tell me some challenges of working on commercial projects. Like, you got your city regulations that you were just
Mhm.
talking about and
Yep.
permitting,
Mhm.
um, ADA compliance. I mean, the loopholes you have to jump through for commercial. I mean, there's I
Well, and
know.
can I just say something? Airbnb, if you think you're
Mm,
gonna Airbnb your house, a lot of municipalities basically treat those as commercial.
like a
Like you
hotel.
have, right, like a hotel. So you actually have to have additional parking. You have to have the fire,
The fire, yeah,
the
from each floor.
right,
Because I know
the
one
built
project I
in,
worked on was,
right.
an
Yeah.
Airbnb and a commercial property, and I remember the firewalls
Firewalls,
and all this,
fire
everything.
sprinklers, which could be 20,
Yeah,
$30,000. Yeah. Even if it's a two-bedroom,
yeah,
yeah, or a
it's
two-room.
definitely
Yeah.
different than
So just
residential
check.
for
But
sure.
anyway, sorry, I digress.
No, that was just, I think it is a different beast because
You have
now
to
you're
think of capacity.
capacity, and again, ADA compliance. You have to have a certain amount of restrooms
That's right.
per
Yeah.
square footage.
Hmm.
The
Well,
Yeah.
the ventilation, that's
Oh yeah, for
huge, the
that.
ventilation.
Yes. And just the size of the bathrooms, you need to be able to have a turnaround for a wheelchair. You have to have the
Mhm.
grab bars, the right grab
Mhm.
bars at the
Right.
right height, and like there's
Mhm.
all these regulations. So I know, like when I did that, I had a lot of learning and research to do. I
But
also
you've done multiple now. You've done a
yeah,
lot
I've
of
done
them.
another one. I did like a children's clinic down in Sarasota. And again, you just have to think like these kids.
Mhm.
And some of these kids have special needs. So it's like, what colors are
Oh.
you going to use?
Oh,
You don't,
that's nice. Yeah.
you think,
Mhm.
is this color going to excite them?
Right. That's true.
So even color scheme is like, how is this going to be a calming environment for them? It just chair heights.
Yeah.
This particular school had the tiniest little kids to, like middle school, high
Oh,
school.
wow.
Yeah.
Mhm. I remember that. Yeah,
Um,
now.
so yeah. So a lot of stuff you
Mhm.
just kind of got to
And you
get
did
in there.
Airbnbs? You did full like, a
Yes.
bunch of Airbnbs
Forgot
you
about
did.
that. I did a
You
few,
tried to forget.
uh, yeah, I'm trying to figure I did some Airbnbs, some, like, efficiencies and multi bedroom type things,
Mhm.
so, yeah, you gotta think about, just the constant turnover. Durability of
Mm,
things
that's
is
true.
really
Yeah.
you can't put crap in there because
Mhm.
you're gonna rebuy it in, like,
Yeah.
3 months, so,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, it's commercial spaces are
Mhm.
a challenge, and you really have to get into the mind of who's using it, and
Yeah.
yeah. So, it's
Well, I
fun.
know that, I mean, because you people hire you to do those. I mean, people hire me to do them too, but I also do my own.
Mhm,
And one project that I purchased a 100-year-old historic home and had a 3-year plan the day actually before I even made the offer. I was standing in the street and I said, okay, and I'm going to sell this in 3 years. I'm going to break the record for the highest sold property
mhm.
in the city, and I'm going to make it a bed and breakfast. And it wasn't even allowed to be in bed and breakfast. So I had to restore the main house. I built a second home on the property with multiple
Mhm.
apartments, Airbnb, turned it into an event space and a commercial place where people did commercials. And of course, then I worked with the city and created an ordinance so that you could have a Airbnb or bed and breakfast, really bed and breakfast in a residential neighborhood. That
Why
took
don't you
two
do that for
years.
my tiny home?
uh,
Create an ordinance.
and sold it 3 years to the
Wow,
day,
that's
and did break the record for the highest sold property non-waterfront in the
so
history.
Linda.
I know. So there's where I go into projects, and I
Mhm.
just am like, I have the whole thing planned out before I even start. So for me, that works. Um,
That's why you gotta talk to her, because if you are like, "I have no vision, I have no plan, what do I do?" She'll step
yeah,
in and be like, "Oh, I got this, I already
I got
know
this. I know what it's
exactly."
going to look like.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But again, it's my vision. I'm like, okay, this is exactly what's going to happen. You tend to be a little bit better about what would you like? And then, sort of creating
Yeah.
and like you said, you're thinking through it
Right.
because clients, I mean, people, and I get that everybody has their talents. Mine's vision. I can see the
Mhm.
everything and I can see exactly what it's going to look like, before I even start.
Right.
Um, and I think that, talking about commercial properties and just knowing, like I said, you had the health inspectors, the food
Mhm.
inspectors thinking about all that stuff, and ahead of time
Fun.
and building.
Yeah.
Do you have any other questions?
I'm fresh out of questions right now. How about your questions?
Oh, I always have questions.
What about
Oh,
our own questions?
yeah. What is our own questions?
Um, I don't know.
All right. Anything you else want to say before we close?
I don't know.
Well, velvetandpine.com, their
Yes,
website, which
it's our newest baby.
yours truly learned how to use
Mhm.
Squarespace at
Squarespace.
my age, and built the website myself. So
Mhm.
if you don't like it, I'm sorry. If you
Don't
love
tell her.
it, yes, that's right. Send me a note. Um, and of course, Velvet and Pine Home Design on Facebook, where you
Mhm.
do reels, because I don't do that.
Mm-mm.
I don't do reels, but I
Yeah.
do the Yeah, we give away
Yeah.
stuff. We have
Give away stuff.
discounts. We have
It's just a good resource that's
tips and
constantly
tricks.
being added to. And
Hmm.
like I said, you can send in your questions, and we can
We'll answer
answer
them.
them through these different avenues,
Yeah,
you
on
know,
Facebook or
and
the
or
website. Join our design
our
club.
design
It's free.
club.
That's right. Sign up.
Yeah.
We get lots of. We just loaded some holiday
Mhm.
checklist, stress-free decorating
How
and
to set your
entertaining.
table.
Oh, how
If
to
you're like me who hosts every every holiday
Thanksgiving.
at my house, every
Right, you
holiday at my
do.
house, that
Mhm.
helps because, I mean,
Yeah.
it's a lot to think. So if you get this checklist, okay, I got
Yeah.
you can
We did an
literally.
invitation checklist too,
Mhm.
invites
Mhm.
and shopping and how to decorate your tables and all that good stuff.
Yeah.
We did a bar cart one, how
Mhm.
to update your bar cart for the winter.
Yes.
Winterize your bar cart.
Yes.
I like it.
That is funny.
I should rename that
Yeah.
title for the
Hmm.
blog.
There you go.
Anyway, we do have lots of help attempts.
Yeah.
Um, okay, I think that's it,
Yeah.
Linda and Heather. Velvetandpine.com or Facebook is Velvet and Pine Home Design. We'll see you then. Bye.
Bye.